Oscar Bevis, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Velasquez in New Hampshire in Manchester. My first US trip for 18 months, and I'm delighted to say that I'm joined by WBO middleweight champion Demetrius Andrade. How are you, sir?
Thank you. I'm doing great. Just ready. We're getting older, we're getting wiser, more mature, and it's about business and what we have to do to be presentable in all aspects of the life. And it's a privilege and an honor for both the WBO and myself for me representing them and them also representing me and them actually see it's about that time I get that ring.
Well, it looks good on you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in action on Friday night. Is this what it's kind of about for you? People talk about all these big fights and big nights, but you're headlining, you're a world champion, you've been treated like a superstar. Is this essentially what you want in your boxing career?
I mean, I'm doing whatever I need to do to deserve more and more and get to that point where I have, my name to be stomped in stone. So, yet I still got more build up to do. I still got, more to prove, of course, because I'm not satisfied all the way yet. But, that's just because that's what I have inside and what I want to prove to myself and also for my family. And also give the fans, of course, what they need to see, too, is the middleweight division going at it and the best fighting the best, So I'm all for it.
Jason Quigley is the man in the opposite corner, very respectful, very classy between the both of you. And essentially, it looks like it's just going to be, you're both going to get in there and have a war. And that's kind of what we want, because I know Jason's told me that he's going to bring it.
Yeah, I hope he does bring it, you know what I'm saying? Because that's just going to bring the best out of me as well and bringing out tools that people might not have seen, Every time I step into the ring, it's a different look. So let's see what he brings, and trust me, I'm coming to, stop him.
I was speaking to Eddie earlier, and he was almost saying that perhaps not you've got your backup, but perhaps it's kind of getting to you a little bit that people are mentioning the same names and they're not prevailing. When it comes to these sort of fight weeks, how does that feel mentally when you've got press asking you? Because I know we're guilty of it as well, asking you, throwing names at you for fights that are yet to happen.
Yeah, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, it's not about, it is about, you guys are drill me about the same names, but it's like when you go and ask Canelo, it's like, hey, why didn't you? And it's like you got to come up with different way of wording things for Canelo or Charlo or whatever, and then it's like, oh, if you ask them about Demetrius Andrade or you bring Demetrius, you're going to get kicked out, you're going to get banned, you can't come to these type of shits, and that's bullshit.
Do you feel like it's different treatment for them?
No, of course. At the end of the day, it's like, reporters and journalists and the critics need to be the same way on me. It needs to be the same way on them. It's like, why is Demetrius a horrible fighter? How can you say that? He's 30-0 with 18 knockouts, 2008 Olympian. What makes him so hard? If he's in that case, why you fight these type of other fighters? Those are the questions that need to have the backlash against the fights that we want to see. I want to see these fights. I want to make them happen, but it's just like I keep getting drilled with the same questions. Like, why you guys keep asking me the same old shit when it's not on me? The answer is yes.
Well, you've got leverage with a world title belt, so there is sort of, I heard Jay say you're high risk, low reward, but you've got leverage with a world title belt. So do you really think the reason these fights aren't coming off are because the other fighters are looking and going, he's a horrible style to fight?
At the end of the day, everybody that steps in the ring with me gets paid the most money unless it's against a Canelo. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't fought Canelo or maybe Charlo Triple G, the most money you're ever going to make is stepping in the ring with Demetrius Andrade. So where's the low reward? And Jason Quigley, this is the much money he made.
When I spoke to Eddie as well, he said that he's sort of got to take some blame for that as well. Do you put any blame on Eddie? Obviously, I know he's tried to make these fights and he would want to make it happen because they're prosperous fights and they generate a lot of money and a lot of they're big fights essentially. But do you put any blame on Eddie?
I mean, I'm not like, it's your fault. I'm not that type of person. At the end of the day, I'm going to do what I need to do. He needs to do what he needs to do. And whatever that is, we need to make it unfold. And that's it. I'm not going to sit here and but of course, I'm going to put pressure. Just like he wants me to look good and do all this other stuff, he needs to have that same type of pressure in the other way, not for me to antagonize him and, make conflict between each other. Nah, it's like, let's get on it. We need more of something. And so let's figure that out.
What more do we need? You've done with the war of words before. You've called people out. You've fought. You've won. You've got the world. What do we need?
I mean, on their end, maybe money, maybe more promotion. Maybe a campaign. We need to focus on spending on a budget on just campaigning this thing and actually attacking it. It's like me saying and him saying, and not actually having a game plan and a strategy to attack the situation. That's where the lack I think comes in.
Well, regardless, you've got a fight on Friday night, and we look forward to seeing you back in the ring and doing your thing. I just have to ask you finally on the WBC ruling yesterday, Canelo, Ilunga Makabu, sort of blows the mind that it's something that could potentially happen, but it looks like next year we will see Canelo in the ring at Cruiserweight.
You know, it's a famous quote, and the quote goes, "You champion, but you don't fight nobody."
Is that it?
Yeah, that's a famous quote.
I mean, in all fairness to Canelo, he's collected the belts at 168 pounds, so he's done with that division. So, I mean, I suppose you're gonna fight your side, but you feel like Canelo's cherry picked then, I guess.
Yeah, you're a champion, but you don't fight nobody. You understand what I'm saying? If you don't understand what I'm saying, that's what Canelo said to me. I'm a champion, but I don't fight nobody. He's a champion, and now look what he's showing. He's fighting nobodies. He's going up to a cruiserweight to fight somebody we don't know. When there's real fighters in the division, in the middleweight division, he could be fighting. But, you know, that's his business. That's what he wants to do. And whatever opportunities comes up with the belt situation, if it makes sense for us, we'll do whatever we got to do to become, 3-divisional world champion. No problem. By fighting the best people in the weight classes.
Do you have a message for Canelo?
Fight nobody. Payday.
No, go on, get that in.
I said payday. You fight nobody. You champion, you fight nobody.
Demetrius, thank you.